So, what have you learned? You keep going on about all this learning. What have you learned?
What have you learned? Okay, sum up.
Let's accept, right, that at some point, about 13, 14 billion years ago, there was nothing. There was no space for the nothing to be in. There was no darkness, no light, nothing. Okay, literally nothing. Except what is nearly a point in space that contained everything in the known universe, okay? Suddenly, that exploded. And in a matter of minutes, the universe was pretty much as it is now. And in all the debris, in all the dust, things started to cling together. One of which was the Earth.
Can I have Carl pick up the story from there?
Yeah! So, there we are. We've got the Earth. We've got this big...
What happened next?
Planet.
Probably nothing for quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just sort of floated about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it wasn't causing a problem because it wasn't annoying anyone.
No.
See, we don't get a chance of that these days.
No.
You pop something down, someone says, move that. Dangerous, what is it?
Yeah.
Back then, nothing. So it's hanging around, and if you leave something somewhere, something will sit on it.
Right.
Okay, if you leave something somewhere, something will sit on it. Yeah.
We'll say like a bin bag. I can put a bin bag outside. Bin men don't come until Friday.
Sure.
But I don't want it in the house.
Sure.
It's got chicken in it.
Yep.
I pop it outside, right? It's sat there for a few days now. Just time, like, you know, a day before the bin men are coming,
Yeah.
I pick that up and take it round the front.
Right.
It's got a slug living under it.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Like one of those little wood lice things.
Yeah.
Might be there.
Yeah.
Snail.
Yep.
What's your point?
My
We've got
point-
a young Earth. It's 4.5 billion years ago.
Yeah.
It's whizzing round the sun.
Something's gonna sit on it.
Yeah, something had to sort of happen, didn't it? I tell you what it's like.
Go on.
In the same way, penicillin
Go on.
happened.
Go on.
It was the bread was sat there. It goes off. Air would have created the greenness.
Oh God! This sounds like the Bible. That is like the Bible. Air created the greenness. That's amazing.
Carry on, because I want to. I'm learning here. I'm learning.
And once you've got something, that leads to otherness.
Oh, this is like a monk who sat down. Oh,
We're all
that's
sat
amazing.
cross-legged listening to the wise old man.
I know. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna write a thing of how everything was created.
But hang on, carry on, because I'm interested.
Yeah.
So where
What-
are we? We had greenness, and now we've got
So
something.
the air created the greenness, and then what is it?
Then we have what was
Just
it?
otherness from the
otherness.
greenness. Because once you've got
from greenness comes otherness.
once you've got one thing, others come.
Yes.
The air created the greenness, then you got otherness. If you create something, others will come.
Build it and they will
But
come.
it's sort of right.
Yeah, I'm not saying I agree. No, so, but tell me, take me on. Continue this story, because this is fascinating. So, where are we now then? What if I was to stand on the Earth at this moment in time? What would I see?
Not that much. You wouldn't want to stay.
But there's greenness.
Little patches
Little
of greenness.
patches of greenness. Okay.
Little bit of rubble knocking around.
A bit of rubble. There was a bit of rubble. Okay.
We've still got a long way to go. We want to get to life, don't we?
Okay, let's skip forward then, Carl, to life.
So everything was right, okay? It was the right distance from the sun, okay?
Yeah, but even if it wasn't, we would still been created.
No, we wouldn't.
We would. Something would have done.
No, we wouldn't have.
I want to hear Carl's opinion on this, Rick. I'm not interested in facts. I want to hear Carl's opinion.
So, are you saying, if the atmosphere, right, around the Earth wasn't about 99% nitrogen oxygen with 1% other gases, we'd have still had something else?
Something would have been around.
What would
I'm
it
not
have
saying
been?
it might be better than us. It might be worse than us.
What would it look like?
Well, it's hard to say, because they say, don't they, that it's the conditions that mould you into the shape and colour.
Sure.
And you know, everything else that makes you the person that you are.
Okay, let's take Pluto. We know that's the farthest away. So it is dark and cold there.
Right.
How do you imagine the creatures that will develop there will
Big
look
eyes
like?
and airy.
But how did they evolve? How did they evolve, though?
Because we evolved. Hang on. You always say animals change to suit the conditions.
I'd have thought if planet's dark, you don't need eyes, because things that live underground or at the bottom of the ocean, they don't have eyes or colour, because there's no point.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, are we saying we're living inside Pluto or on the top of it like we do here?
Why would we live inside Pluto? There's
Well,
no,
I wouldn't.
it couldn't support life, full stop. But this is one of the most ridiculous conversations we've ever had.
He's seriously considering whether we live inside or outside.
On a ridiculously false premise.
No,
Carl,
we're
listen.
saying now that the world's overcrowded.
Right.
There's too many people on it.
Right.
We're running out of houses. People are living in basements. Now that's only one step away from being molish. We're already going underground because we're running out of space.
Being molish.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Come on, keep. Let him. I want to hear his point.
Is
Here
that
we go.
like being Amish?
So
Go
what
see
you're
the
saying?
Polish people, they don't acknowledge the crust of the earth.
So you're saying within 5 years there's going to be sort of mole-like people living in basement flats with no eyes.
But hold on though, according to you, the lower they go, the colder and darker they go, the hairier and better eyes they'll have.
Well, it depends now. I was only saying they'd have better eyes if they were on a dark planet where they're outside, so they still have to look out for things that they could trip over. If we're going underground,
That's their sole concern. That's the whole evolution. It's like, we don't want to trip over. I don't want to graze my knees.
You've got knees. They got them on Earth. Coincidence, isn't it? Hub.
what I'm saying is, right, and I've always said this,
Go on.
we are not the same as the first man that nature made.
No, we're not. No.
And that's where we went wrong. And if we didn't interfere, we might have been more suited to the conditions now. Auntie Nora, I'm cold. She doesn't want double glazing.
Why not?
Just because she's worried that when people come round and sort of knock on the door, she won't hear them because it's all sort of double glazed.
But they're knocking on the door.
No, but she said that she didn't like a bell. It makes her jump too much.
Well,
That's
how do they get in now?
Well, it's a thin door and thin glass. You hear it. It's not like soundproof like double glazing is.
What? So they have to knock.
They knock like that on the door, and she can hear that because
But
it's
why
like
are
a
they going
wooden
to double
door.
glaze the door? Is it a glass door?
No, they want to put that PVC door in with
Hang
the
on,
thicker
so
glass.
she's scared by. You don't want a doorbell because that alarms her, but the knocking is fine.
The knocking's fine because you get to know knocks.
Why don't they have a bell that when you press it, it makes that noise?
Because they haven't done that yet.
Well,
Maybe that's an idea.
you could do a sample of a like that. So when they press the doorbell, she hears. That's easy. That's done. You could sort that out for her.
Well, I don't want to start getting dragged into it because.
But why don't you tell her? Say, Auntie Nora, have double glazing. Be warm. Be safe. Hear the knock of the bell on the doubly door.
This is it, though, isn't it? She wouldn't be around now if it wasn't for people interfering, coming up with tablets, making weak people live longer.
Right. You're annoyed at that. You're
I
annoyed.
know he's such a fascist, isn't he? Auntie Nora, a weak person who has been allowed to live.
No,
Eugenics is where you'd be happier.
Do you recycle and not leave the tap running and turn off lights because you're worried about a child born in 100 years' time?
No, because I don't think. At the end of the day, we have to face facts here.
Go on.
The world is old.
Hold on. Right. Okay.
The world's old.
Really old.
And it's the same as if you've got a gran who's 70.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do for her. You can say you're warm, but at the end of the day, she's still going to be shitting her pants. She's still going to be, forgetting things and all the rest of it. And you might be taking care of her, but at the end of the day, the good days are gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in a way, like the world, it's got to a point that it's old, and we can say turn the tap off, turn the lights off, close the windows, stop letting heat out.
The earth, metaphorically, is shitting its pants.
You've only got to look at what's happening, right? It's freezing, isn't it, at the moment out there?
Yeah.
Ice everywhere, snow everywhere. Now, an old person, what happens to them? They're always cold. It's like the earth, isn't it?
Brilliant.
The earth now is freezing.
Yeah.
It feels the cold more than
winter
ever.
as well. It's also because it's winter, but yeah.
And I think if you try and make it better now, you end up doing more damage.
Does that make any
Doesn't
sense
make
at all?
any sense.
Doesn't make sense at all.
Well, just you can sometimes it's too late to make something better. Like, I've had old relations who smoke like 50 a day. Doctor said, you've got to stop smoking. Stop smoking, 2 weeks later they're dead. Shouldn't have stopped them smoking.
Yeah,
Their insides,
Good advice.
well, their insides are used to all that pollution.
Yeah.
Take the pollution away, what will the world do?
Oh, good. That is a good point.
Interesting. This is scientifically grounded, is it? You've done a lot of the research, read a lot of the information about this. Or is it just a wild harebrained speculation again, backed up with nothing? Is it bullshit? Which of those two is it?
Like I said to you, I just think it's a theory. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're not telling me it's a coincidence that about 3 of my old relations have died because the doctor said stop smoking.
Well, it might be because they're very old, and...
Well, yeah, they were old, but it's weird how, why stop them smoking? They're old.
Sure.
Let them have a fag. Jesus. They've got nothing else in their life. You've took that away, they die. Let them have a fag. And it's the same with this world. It's polluted now. I mean, there's rubbish everywhere. Isn't there?
You just mean in the streets and stuff?
Just, yeah. Different levels of... I've noticed how rubbish changes depending where you live. Just like when I lived in the centre of town, it was rank. It was like human sort of poo.
Oh, what?
Yeah, honestly,
Where?
down alleys and that.
What, tramps, you mean?
It must be. I don't know. I didn't sort of hang around
drug
to see who's
addicts
doing
or-
it. It's just, but very human. It wasn't dog-like.
How do you know it's human?
Just the way it looked.
What do you mean?
Well, you'd walk past it and you go, look at that there, Susan.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh,
That
look
looks
at-
human.
Oh, yeah. And what does Suzanne say? Yeah, can we walk somewhere else from now on? This isn't...
Yeah, why are you walking up and down this same alley with all
I
this
wanted to
shit?
show, I wanted to show you the human poo.
It's a cut
Were you having
through.
a shit yourself?
It's the cut through that we used to always use, and most of the time it was just like smell a wee, really strong wee,
Yeah.
and you'd see if you could hold your breath for the full thing. But
A little bit of fun, a little bit of romantic fun after a night in a restaurant.
I remember when he took her for a walk around the car park.
but now I've moved to like, a posher bit of London. You still get litter, but I saw like a rice cake. That's what I chucked on the floor.
Yeah.
That's like,
It's just hummus tubs and...
yeah. But it's still rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's still rubbish.
Who left this crouton maker lying around?
So, don't you see what I'm saying though? The way the world, we've changed more than the world has. We can't handle anything now, can we? Look at it, like I say, a bit of snow, a bit of cold, everything comes to a standstill.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't go out, it's dangerous, you'll slip over, people having time off work.
Mankind's foray into the future. I want this will be the introduction to a book about the future. It will then be read in 100 years' time and go, Karl Pilkington was the most prophetic genius that's ever walked the earth. These are his words from 2010.
Just some predictions.
Just sum it up. Just sum it up. I believe. Start off with. I, Karl Pilkington, believe that mankind in the future will. Okay, start off
And
with that
then what,
sentence.
just have like a top 5?
Well, no, or just.
Well, maybe just predictions.
Just predict.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So
and then a little thing to remember. And remember ye this. So I, Karl Pilkington, predict that in the future mankind will. Start off with that. Start off with that sentence. I've given you that one.
Alright, I'm Carl, and the future.
He's already gone off road.
It's a scary place. But the future's got to happen. Right? There's no getting away from that.
Yeah. Okay, your predictions are.
Well, we're all.
It's not a soundbite.
Keep going.
Hang on a
Give him
minute.
space. Give him space. Give
This
him
is in a
time.
book. I've got to think about. I don't want to get it wrong.
Think first. Think and then say it. Okay, starting from now. These words of wisdom will be inscribed on a wall of a museum one day. Proceed.
Wall of a lavatory, more like.
I think trousers are going to be stopped being made. Just because you see kids now, they've got pants around their ankles. They're going further and further down. So I think that's evolution, just getting rid of the trouser.
Right.
It's just dropping naturally.
That's the evolution of the trouser because it's dropping
Well, you
incrementally
see now, you
down
can
the
see
arse.
kids' underpants, so they're just dropping.
Yeah.
I think they'll get to a point when they just don't bother wearing them anymore.
Right.
Prediction 1.
Okay,
That's an amazing one.
They'll stop making trousers in the future. Okay.
We're going to get weaker. That's already happened. They used to say, you know, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now they're saying eat 5 fruits.
Right.
So we've definitely, that's evidence. You can't argue with that. I'd probably put that first because the guy's right. What's number 2? So swap that round.
Okay, that's number 1.
Give him the pants second.
Yep.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Okay,
They
number
used
3.
to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. They used to say pull your trousers up. Now they say put them down. You can. I've never had such fucking dribble.
Number 3.
Right, number 3. Oh, the scholars are now waiting with bated breath when they find this old scroll, and they go, "Ooh, what can number 3 be?"
I reckon we'll blend all our food.
Oh God!
No, because
He was going to make a point about race. He said, I never thought it would be. We'll blend all our food.
like they do for babies, you mean?
I just think when you think about all the stuff we eat now, cavemen chewing on big lumps of meat.
Yeah.
We had wisdom teeth.
Yep.
Now they say, "Well, take them out. You're not using them."
Yeah.
Why not using them? Because your food's soft.
Yep.
Sorbet.
Yep.
Soups.
Yeah.
You know, everything's softer,
Just
isn't it? When you
those
get an
two, yeah.
avocado, they say, "Is it soft?" Everyone's squeezing the food before they buy it.
Yeah.
No one wants anything tough.
Yeah.
So I think chewing is a sort of
It's a thing of the
thing of the past. We haven't got the time to chew. Everyone's like, "Hurry up, eat that." You don't have to go out for dinner with Ricky. He's like, "Hurry up." Like, I'm still eating
Well,
it.
he does blend his food, I think. Okay, so blending food.
Great.
I reckon. What else do we do now? So I've done teeth. Done trousers. I've come up with this idea. These sort of like glasses, but you can live wherever you want to live.
What do you mean?
Everything that's real, you're not looking at that anymore. This is really the future. I'd put this at number 10. This is like...
We're only doing 5. Fuck me.
So what you mean is that you look through the glasses and instead of seeing what the real world, you see a tropical
what
paradise.
You want to see. So if you're a young kid and you like the idea of living in the urban ghetto with all graffiti on the walls and that, you can see that.
Yeah, but hold on. Are you walking around? Because you'll be bumping into stuff, won't you?
No.
Why not?
No, what you mean is that the stuff that's there in the real world is being digitally reimagined in your glasses. So what was a nice country lane is suddenly now an
It's
urban
got loads
ghetto.
of graffiti on it.
Sure.
Absolutely mental point. This will never work. Absolutely
But
one of the
all
maddest
So
things you've ever said.
really weird, that one.
Yeah,
It could be done. I reckon it could be easily
Why
done.
would it be? Okay,
Because-
that last one, that's number 4. That's a load of bollocks. So what's number 5?
There'll be more letters in the alphabet.
Why?
Why?
Because we're running out of words now, aren't we?
No, we're not running out of
No,
words.
we are. We are definitely running out of
Using,
words.
it's using the letters we've already got and
Yeah.
making new words.
Yeah, we're making,
No, but we haven't got enough now.
Of course we have. Have you any idea? You could have a word with 9 L's
Yes.
before you run out.
Yeah, and they do in Wales and what have you. That's because their alphabet is shorter than ours. They've only got something like 24 letters over there.
Right.
But they go mental with the L. now what we do is we've got 26 letters, but we are now struggling.
We're not struggling at all.
We are.
We're not. No, it's a stupid.
Boswallocks in shampoo. Now there's a word where they've gone, well, we've invented something here. We've got something we're putting in shampoo.
Boswallocks?
Boswallocks.
You just made that up?
No, it's now they go, I knew with Boswallots and ceramide R. Yeah, but that's a new word because they have to, they come up with a new word.
But it's a terrible word.
Why?
Boswallocks.
It's another word.
Is that real? You've missed that out,
No, I haven't. It's a real word.
Boswallocks, yeah.
Now this is what I'm saying. So years ago when they came up with all the sensible ingredients,
Go on.
sodium. That sounds all right.
He likes sodium, he doesn't like
Because it
Boswallots.
sounds like something in it, like an ingredient.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're used to it.
Is this a load of Boswells? Are you winding me up?
No,
the two
it's
of you?
real.
It's real, and that's because 26 letters. We've wasted them. Years ago, we went mental with the, pneumonia, sticking a P on it, and there's loads of words where you go, "What's that letter doing in there?" Whereas now, they can't do that. They've gone, "Whoa, pull that back. Why is that letter there?" And now you've got stuff like abbreviations and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's not waste letters. Let's just control it a little bit. Cars are called things like, GTI or something, because they're going, well, I can't think of the word to call this. So they're giving them letters. Think of a word now. Think of a word that hasn't been made up.
What do you mean?
Well, tell me a word that hasn't been made up.
All words have been made up.
No, one that hasn't. That could be used. Say if I invent something now to put in shampoo, what can I call it? Quick.
Cranberry.
No, it's too close to that. No, we can't get that past the advertising person.
Scrimpton.
Scrimpton.
Yeah.
It took Ricky 2 goes and you accepted his second one.
Well, I think we've sorted out the future.
Wow. Since, obviously, the days of Nostradamus, there's been many people who've tried to foresee the future. Carl, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but there's endless, predictions. Apparently there are other planets that may collide with ours. There's some scientific basis on this. And obviously, I don't know if you've seen the posters for that recent film, 2012. Well, that's based on this notion of some kind of Mayan calendar, which supposedly predicts the end of the world as being 2012. But if you knew with certainty that today was the end of the world, how would you spend that final day? I mean, this seems weird to me, but I think I'd like to experience a lot of the extremes of existence. So, for instance, I've always wanted to smash up a bar. Do you know what I mean? It's strange, but I've always wanted the exhilaration of just smashing all those bottles, like you see in a film.
But would you enjoy it as much, knowing that you're going to die in 8 hours?
I don't know, I suppose it's the sense of abandon, I mean, maybe I'd murder a person.
Wow.
Just see, I don't know, but I think I'd probably go mental.
Because
I've always been a very reserved person, I've never got into a fight, I've never caused a rumpus.
Yeah, but that's a worrying thought, because we don't have to have the end of the world for it to be the end of your world, because a lot of people know that they're terminally ill, so they don't go around smashing up bars and killing people.
But I suppose I know there'll be no repercussions ultimately, because
they're
the next day everyone's gone, so there's not going to be mourning families.
But then how dare you deprive that person of his last 8 hours or 10 hours of life?
I don't care, because it's the last day on Earth.
Well,
so
that's true.
I know the moral guilt that I'll feel is over in a few hours.
Morality isn't relative just to repercussion, is it? Because
no, but the point is
you can do things without repercussion. But often people say, what would you do if you never got caught, or would you do it if there is repercussions for that person, as grave as they might be, just because you feel that it's no big deal either way, that they're only going to live another 8 hours, they might feel differently. And you're saying, well, you won't care because you won't be around. But then, why do people care about their loved ones when they won't be around? Why do people get a will ready?
Because my point is that they know that those people will continue to live for an indeterminate amount of time.
So you do care about the other person's feelings?
Of course I do. Oh, no, of course I do. But my point is, knowing that everyone is going to be wiped off the face of the earth the following day, all of those repercussions are no longer quite the same.
I'd find it hard to divorce myself from my morality that's ingrained just because it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, I honestly, to me, it seems that we're approaching just the end of all things, and so I'm saying that there's something about the fact that we're all going to end that somehow seems very liberating.
What would you do?
I've always wanted to kick a duck up the arse.
It gets it's PIKELET. Someone threw a perfectly good PIKELET away. Talking about the Earth, Carl is going around the Earth. Myself and Stephen have set Carl up with a dream job. Not only have we got him a TV programme on Sky, but he's going to see the world. It came out of Carl not being impressed by anything, and Steve had this idea, and we've talked to the producers, and we're basically sending him around seeing the 7 wonders. Okay, the 7 most amazing things on Earth, according to polls and opinion. It's a bit of fun. We know they might not be the most amazing things on Earth, but if Carl finds all 7 of them unimpressive and boring, there is something fundamentally wrong with him, we think.
I've only done Egypt so far.
And what do you think of it? They're probably the greatest and earliest
So one of the
civilizations.
greatest, yeah.
Yeah, but they harp on about that a lot.
Well,
And it's like, that's slowing them down, I think.
Unlike the English, we don't drone on about our great past.
No, but we shouldn't.
yeah.
I don't think we should.
Carl,
Move on.
you go on about doing boxing when you turned up once and got battered by Leroy.
Yeah, because you asked me about it. But
Right.
the thing is, they're constantly, it's like they haven't moved on. Everywhere you go, you see the Sphinx or a pyramid on something, and it builds it up too much, so that when you actually get there, you feel like you've seen it so many times that it doesn't impress you that much. But I like the, you know, it's different. I liked all the, you know, locals and stuff, and the way they are, and that's good, isn't it?
Oh, are they?
Just a lot of old people.
Yeah.
A lot of old and the young mix more than our lot do. There was only a couple of things that I didn't like, and that was the toilets. Toilets are pretty depressing.
Why? What's up with them?
Just it's just a hole in the ground, isn't it?
Right.
And I like the toilet. It's sort of, you know, me time, and to sort of go in one of them, you don't want to hang around. It's
Yeah.
sort of, you just want to do the job and get out. But my insides don't work like that. You like to sort of relax a bit. And you can't do that there because you've got flies whizzing around your head. And there was one time when we were out and about, and I'd had a bit of hummus or something, because that's, you can't get away from all that. I'd been dipping my bread in it, and I suddenly thought, oh, it barely feels funny. Got to find a toilet. Cut through this market. Didn't know one was there, but you sort of smell it. It's like,
Really?
I'm getting close to one. Yeah, it stinks. Go in, there's like a fella sat there, really old. He must have been about 93, about 2 teeth. Sat there with a rag, and you have to pay him to use the toilet.
What's the rag for? He doesn't wipe your ass for you.
I don't know, but
Well, did he or
the
didn't he?
toilet's never been cleaned by the looks of it. I had to give him like £5 Egyptian, whatever that is. I don't know how much that is, but I don't know what he's doing for that money, because the place had never seen a mop. So I go in there, open the door, and it's like one of them holes in the ground. I go, oh god, can't use that. Push the next door open, that's the same. You know, get to the end one, open it, normal toilet.
All right.
Ding dong.
Brilliant. Sit down there, do what I do, look round, no toilet paper.
Oh no.
He's waving the rag over the top of the cubicle.
Yeah.
More money.
£10.
So I'm thinking, oh god, I'm thinking, can I just get up? Because it was quite a clean, you know, I thought if I
It
had
was
to,
quite a clean drop. Sure.
yeah. So I'm thinking,
Don't
oh,
they use water though? Don't they use water?
well, they have a hose pipe, yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't fancy that.
Well, that's cleaner though, isn't it? A hose pipe. Really getting a
No,
proper
it's
wash.
heck, it's
Why?
heck. How can it be?
Why?
Because that's just gonna, that's not gonna clean it properly. It's gonna get rid of some bits, isn't it? It's like when you clean a car. Yeah, use a hose, but where's a sponge?
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
Oh God!
You rinse off a plate, but then
But
you
I
always
just-
give it a little wipe as well.
Exactly, but I like it. That's when the bloke knocks on the door and goes, "You need sponge?" Yes.
so I'm in there. I look at the door. There's no handle on the door, so I'm trapped in there anyway. Someone's nicked the handle, so I can't open the door. I'm sat there. There's no toilet paper. I'm calling like the people who I'm out there with.
Yeah.
They've got the phones off because we're meant to be filming. So I'm thinking, well, if I just wait, eventually they'll call.
They'll panic, yeah.
And they did after about 20.
Hello. Oh, it's Carl. What do you need? A handle and some toilet paper, please.
So they called up and they had to come down. That fella don't let you in unless you pay £5 Egyptian.
So they all had to
and
pay.
they all had to pay £5. I mean, I don't know why they all had to come in to see me. Like it's a bit
camera
embarrassing.
going.
Yeah.
Did they bring you some toilet paper then?
No, they got it from the fella with the who you pay the money to.
Right.
He had
You
a
should have
supply.
paid for some
Right.
on the way in. So
I think
yeah.
that's what you do. But they don't give you a full roll. They give you like a strip,
Right.
which I'm pretty wasteful with toilet paper.
well, it's
I
made you
prefer
learn,
to do a good job, use it up, replace it, rather than 5 sheets. I've never done that in my life.
Right.
So my brother taught me something. When he was in the army, he said you used to have to sort of put your hand through it, get it all, then use that paper to get it off your hand.
What?
When you're in the army,
Yeah.
they're taught survival techniques.
Right.
And they said if you're ever caught with very little toilet paper,
It's a survival technique.
Yeah.
not like-
What did he die? Died of a dirty ass. Hold on. Wait a minute. Right. What is this technique?
you get the toilet paper,
Right.
use 2 sheets,
Right.
fold it over so you've got, normally to one sheet is 2 ply. You've got 4 ply.
Right.
So it's a sort of, it's like a bog glove, a bog paper glove.
Yeah, so you put your hand through it, so you make a hole.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Make a hole?
Make a hole so your hand goes through it.
Yeah.
Then you can wipe your arse with that.
What,
And
with
then-
your hand?
Yeah, and then the toilet paper that's left, you pull it off like that, and you wipe your fingers with it.
So you've still got shit on your hand?
This is horrible!
Yeah,
Why
but
don't,
you wiped it off.
why don't you just wipe your ass with the toilet paper?
Because you've only got a couple of sheets, because you're in the jungle, right? And it's
Hold
survival.
on, though.
It's almost survival, Rick.
So what's the difference between
don't know.
wiping
Maybe you
your
got it
ass
wrong.
with your hand and trying to get shit off your hand, or wiping your ass with the toilet paper and putting your fucking trousers up? I don't know why this is a technique. That's some sort of mad sergeant's idea. What I do, boys, is I like to smear shit all over my face and then use the one sheet of toilet to wash my face off. It doesn't make any sense at all. Should I suggest something for you? You like wiping your ass with your hand. You don't like paper and water. You like a sponge. One of those big foam hands that you see at sporting events. So you just go in with that, like Kenny Everett. You go in there with 2 big sponges. You sit down. You wipe your ass. You just leave them up. You just leave them
and then
there.
you can cheer about it as you leave. But everyone will know. Be careful with the giant sponge finger then, it doesn't go up the arse. And cause damage. That is a problem.
Well, that's it in the last series of the Ricky Gervais Guide To's. Maybe the last guide to ever. Maybe the last audiobook ever.
Who knows?
As you've seen, we've running out of ideas.
Well, I've had enough.
Yeah, so
be
have I, yeah.
honest, right.
Well, I mean, that was about the environment, and we certainly recycled some old shit there. So, it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Bye.
and the global village idiot that is Karl Pilkington.